another exciting episode of Wave the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka Mini Wargamer Kris, aka The Name Butcher, aka I'm all out of AKs. Wave the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun, meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So if you're a first-time viewer, we do a lot of painting talk, a lot of hobby talk, but also a lot of what's under the sun, meaning no topics are barred, and it's just fair game what we'll talk about. So it can get a little strange at times, so who knows? But if you want to keep it on the painting side of things, hey, feel free to ask your questions. If you're attending live, you can ask your questions in the chat, whichever direction it's in for you. And, of course, if you are watching after the fact, you can send your questions to Kris@miniwargaming.com. It's in the description below, as well as a link to wavethebrush.com. Wavethebrush.com has all the links to all the social medias, the Discord. Discord's been fantastic. Been a lot of fun. You know, we go to Discord. We talk. We keep a conversation rolling, like, all day long over there. All week long, really. We're in there all the time. Pretty sporadic, but the monkeys are sporadic, so, you know, what have you. Discord, wavethebrush.com. Also, on wavethebrush.com, you'll find links for t-shirts. Want to help support the cause, help look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Wave the Brush t-shirt. If you believe that one, I'll sell you another one. If you've purchased yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, because, you know, who doesn't want to see everybody's pretty faces? So, monkey shirts, Monkey Shrine. Also, on wavethebrush.com is a link to Patreon support. Big thank you to all my patrons who currently support me, and anybody out there who's considering patron support. I only ever charge per episode, so I only do this every Saturday, normally. Today's Sunday, I realize, but normally I only do this every Saturday, and you know, I only ever charge per that. I do other videos, but I don't ever charge really for those. So I think you'll know what you get yourself into every Saturday, 4 times a month, maybe, you know. And of course, if you're not able to support monetarily, you can thumb up, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, share, all the other social things that we do with these videos these days. That all helps as well. In fact, you know, those are big helps. And, you know, so big thank you to all my patrons. Without their support, a lot of these things wouldn't be possible. If you're considering patron support, thank you. And if you're not able to, liking, commenting, all that stuff helps as well. So, also, big thank you to Guymere Alfer, a.k.a. Carl, a.k.a. Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out if you love yourself some beer and you love yourself some Blood Bowl. Beer and Blood Bowl, that's where it's at. And it's just fun to tune into them once in a while and listen to them play the games and just talk really, really mean to each other. No, not often. No. No. We always say thank you to Carl for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingles that plays before every email segment of the show. And so a huge thank you to Carl taking the time and, you know, showing love. And so, always much love for Carl. Me love you long time, Carl. Me love you long time. Oh, there's no way to say that without being offensive, is there? Who's joining us? We got Ebb and Flow. Sup, everybody. Sup. Eldar Lamborghini. Hello, monkeys. Brian Cheney. Hey, Kris. Yup. Yup. I joined the Discord a few weeks ago, and it's been great. Awesome. I'm glad that, you know, you're having fun. You're having, you know, maybe you're picking up some stuff, and, you know, maybe you're meeting people who might be in the area or close by, or just everybody who shares your passion for the hobby, you know. And really, that's what it's all about. It's all about sharing. It's the only reason I do this show is to share. Help you guys, answer your questions, help you wade through the fog of mystery that is the internet, that is discerning what useful information is out there. I've been in this hobby for a very long time. Not very long time, but Well, most of my life, so it's been a long time. But I've been in this hobby that long. Long time. Love you long time. And, yeah. G squared, episode 257. An important prime number. Is it? Is it? Brian Cheney, nerd alert. Nerd alert. Nerd alert. Should have like a little thing come up. Nerd alert. Especially when I go off on tangents on like Star Wars or something. Nerd alert. Star Trek. Nerd alert. Gundam. Nerd alert. That's about it. What else? Oh, anime. Nerd alert. Maybe that's all it should be. Just nerd alert. Matthew Perez. Good morning, everyone. Kris, are we moving to Sundays permanently? No, I don't think so. But I mean, I don't know if people want it on Sundays. I mean, speak up. I do embrace a democratic type of philosophy towards, you know, things. So if you think that Sundays are better, I mean, if the public says, if everybody goes, yes, we want it on Sundays, maybe we'll do it on Sundays. You know what? My wife actually wouldn't mind if we did it on Sundays, because a lot of times Saturdays there's fun things going on, and so it's like, oh well, okay, we can do it after your show, we can do it before, you know, and we kind of work it around, right? Whereas if it were on Sundays, most of the time she works Sundays, and Sundays coming soon will be Sunday football, and so, you know, I can do this while everybody's, you know, screaming at the TV, and you know what I mean? So G squared, Sundays and Saturdays. Jeez Louise. I don't know. Frankly Bailey. Hello all, Frank from New Jersey, working on painting on Mortarion today. Day 2 on these wings. Cool. Are you painting it for a competition? Or are you just going to do just a nice pretty job on it, or just for your collection? Is there a goal? Is there, you know, what's the goal? If so, send pics. Let's see. Let's share. Feel free to share. Nobody's going to go, oh my god, that's crap. Well, somebody might, but I won't. Matthew Perez. 40k nerd alert. 40k nerd alert. 40k nerd alert. That's kind of fun to say. 40k nerd alert. 40k nerd alert. G squared. It's the Fermat Prime, only one of only 5. Cool. Captain Let's Dance. Hey, fun name. Good afternoon, y'all. Good afternoon. Somebody sending me. Go away. I don't want to talk to you. I'm talking to other people. I'm talking to more important people. Sophie over on Twitch. How was the mini judging go? Mini judging go? It went well. The turnout was a little bit lower than what Dan was expecting. Dan being the owner of Max Aggression, which is the physical store that's attached to the Mini Wargaming Bunker, where they satisfy Dan satisfies all our hobby needs. It's hard to say that without it sounding funny. Anyway, or maybe I could word it different, I suppose. Maybe I want it to be funny. Anyway, yeah, so, you know, it was relatively easy. I didn't have to actually bust out any maths to, like, try and, you know, work it out. The level of painting that was on the models was pretty self-evident as to who was, you know, spending time on their models and overall finish and, you know, everything like that. But we had fun. Head over to Max Aggression's Facebook page, and you'll see the photos. I took photos. That was one of the things, as I was, you know, kind of critiquing them, I was taking photos of them and everything, and so, you know. But yeah, it was fun. Definitely would do it again. I think Dan really needs to up the prize support for it. I think that'll really draw in some folk if you offer more prizes. And in fact, speaking of prizes, this is a little bit of a spoiler alert for everybody. Okay, so spoiler alert. I should have another little thing go. Spoiler alert, nerd alert. Spoiler alert, right? I should have all these. It'd be like one of those morning show DJ kind of console things where I just kind of hit the thing and morning alert. It's morning alert. Well, I was up late. Anyway, let's just get to it. This is an idea I'm gonna do, and so this is only possible because of all you guys. And so, what we're gonna do is we are gonna do one of those infamous cross media, social media platform type of things. But here's what I'm gonna do. This was before my haircut, obviously, because my head's cut. My head's shaved. My hairs are cut, and yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give away a get started box. Your choice of get starting or start collecting. Get started. It used to be called get started, wasn't it? Anyway, start collecting. Your choice of start collecting box, and I'm not sure 100% as far as how I want to kind of run this, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So it's going to be probably across Instagram, Twitter, and the Facebooks. Yeah, I think across those three. I realize there are other social medias, but yeah. So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to probably make a post, I was going to say Monday, but that's tomorrow. So probably tomorrow I'm going to make a post. I'll probably make a short little vid. And it'll be, the atypical, liking, commenting, basically saying entered kind of thing into the social media stuff. And, of course, I will probably do the draw. So it'll be a draw, and I'll probably do it episode 2, what are we at, 257? Yes, I'll probably do it episode 260. Right? Is that right? Yeah, today's 257. So, yeah, 260. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's just a little bit of spoiler alert for everybody out there. Anybody who likes a little bit of, heads up on what's possibly coming, around the corner for everybody. But, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just a little fun, and, somebody wins to get started. Or start collecting, whatever the hell the box is called. Whatever the frig the box is called. I can't remember. Anyway. Where am I in this comments? Holy moly. G squared, Saturdays and Sundays? Saturdays and Sundays? I don't know. I don't know. That sounds like a lot. That sounds like a lot of work. And then that means I never get a day off. Frankie Lee. Every other Sunday is Tabletop Minions with Uncle Adam. I really want to both. You want to both? Well, Adam, he does his thing earlier in the day. So actually, he starts, I think, like 10 in the morning on Sundays when he does his show. And he does for maybe about 2 hours. And so, yeah. And in fact, if I really wanted to coordinate it with him, I probably could. Because Uncle Adam, I'm not calling him Uncle Adam. He's not my uncle. Not in that kind of way. Anyway. But anyway, I know Uncle Adam, and he's a really great guy. And I'm sure, if I really wanted to switch to Sundays, I'm sure we could probably work something out where we don't walk on top of each other or something. So, but I mean, he gets way more live viewers than me anyway, so it's not like, it's a big concern, but it doesn't matter. Matthew Perez. I don't mind, just easier to catch on Sundays, but I feel ya on the wife and football item. Play fantasy football, so super nerd alert. Yeah. Yeah, fantasy football came about when the nerds started getting into to football. Yeah, that's what happened there. That's how fantasy football started, is when the nerds started getting into football. Which probably was because of Blood Bowl. Brian Cheney, nerd alerts everywhere. Frankie Lee, Peyton Mortarian for fun, primarily working on my purples, using dry brush with contrast paints. You're dry brushing the contrast paints? Interesting, I don't think I've tried that yet. And my worst skill, wet blends and transitions, Hence, day two. Hence, day two on the wings. Hobby skill upgrade work. Okay, interesting. I've not used the contrasts and dry brushing. Now, when you're saying dry brushing with the contrast paints, like you're laying down the contrast and then you're dry brushing on top of it, okay, perfectly. Okay, could see that. But are you laying the color down and then dry brushing contrast? Using contrast to dry brush on top? I've not done that. I'm kind of curious now. How are you finding the results? I can't, like, I'm imagining how the colors would go, and it just feels like it would be just darken the edges. Now, if the surface was bright and you were dry brushing the contrast on top and changing the tinted value ever so slightly, but getting darker at the edges, if that was a particular look you were after, then great. Otherwise, yeah, send me a pic, I guess, really. I'm curious now. I mean, I ran through the scenario in my head, and yeah. But if that's what you're doing, man, send me a pic. Send me a pic. G squared, spit it out. Spit it out. George over on Twitch. Sunday is becoming regular things. Because it's summertime and I'm getting busy. And, you know, no rest for the wicked, as they say. But I like entertaining you guys, and I like having regular content on my YouTube channel, so, you know. Yeah. Matthew Perez off with his head. Oh, no. Shogun Kyle, William Kyle, why are you not resting? Why am I not resting? I don't know. I don't know. Just because. Brian Cheney, I can't imagine dry brushing with them. Haha. No, neither can I. That's why it never entered my head. But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about when we're trying new things and we're playing and we're thinking outside the box of how we can use material to achieve our goals. Now, it might be by accident that he was doing that, or it was deliberate. Either way, I think it's fantastic. It's interesting. It's not. I didn't think of it. Not that I'm some sort of freaking genius or anything like that, but, you know, that's not the first place I would have gone in mentally on how I would apply contrast. And, you know, he'll do it, and then she'll do it, and then somebody else will come up with a new way of dry brushing with those particular paints, you know. Now, I don't know if they are actually dry brushing with the contrast, but as I said it was interesting, and so now I'm kind of thinking, what could be achieved using contrast in that fashion? Would it look good? Would it, you know, there's a lot of questions that are raised. So, yeah. George, hi. George Hintz over on Twitch. Hi. John J. Hello, Monkey Haven. Monkey Haven. Matthew Perez, he's everyone's uncle, but talk about the Sunday Nerd Block. Episode name idea, Raise of the Nerd Alerts? Rise of the Nerd Alerts? Or Raise of the Nerd Alerts? Raise or Rise? Rise of the Nerd Alerts? I like it, Rise of the Nerd Alerts. Why not? Why can't that be the episode name? But I'm going to change it to Rise, not Raise. Because I'm sure that's what you meant. Unless, of course, you meant Raise. In which case, what the hell are you talking about? I was going to flat out ask, man. What are you talking about? What kind of silly crap are you on about? Oops. Wrong letter. Rise. There we go. AJR just did a super chat over on YouTube. $5. Thank you, AJR. Cause you rock. Cause I rock. Like rock, or just rock. Or is it more like rock? Ooh, rock. Sound all like a Simpsons teenager character. Wrong. Anyway. Xandrate. Random Kris chat? Could I... Glad I could catch it. Well, I'm doing Way the Brush, Xandrate. You know what, Mike, I don't know if you know this, but I do this show on Saturdays typically at noon called Way the Brush, and I usually do it pretty much every week. I didn't do it yesterday because I was judging minis, so I said yesterday on Twitter I would do it today. Maybe. And this is maybe. AJR, what up from Cape Canaveral? It's Happy Chaos Nights weekend. Nurgled Nights and House Herpatrax? Good God, is that one of those actual names? Herpatrax? Oof. I don't want to get that. Can't wait to get started. Cool. Yeah, Chaos Nights. There, it's nights. You guys really want to see me lose my mind on a release other than APOC or contrast paints? Because APOC has been great. I love APOC. We played APOC Thursday night, and I also filmed one with Luca. I want to play APOC all the time. I wasn't able to film my Thursday game. I was going to film it, but it just turned it into a big herding cats kind of thing, and so I was like, I'm not going to be able to film this, and it'd just be chaotic, and I would be better off just kind of like more or less documenting the mayhem kind of thing, right? So, didn't happen. The filming, the game happened, which was fun, and everybody enjoyed it. And so I think everybody is going to be more receptive to Apocalypse and playing Apocalypse, and and I like it because you can it's almost like you can play pick up and play kind of games with Apocalypse, which is kind of unusual because APOC usually takes a little bit of forethought and planning and things like that. And so it's a lot of fun. And but as I said, you really want to see me lose my mind? Way off in the distant future, way off, when they finally do the Eldar re-release and with new sculpts and but we're talking way off into the horizon, like back there somewhere, way off. And watch it drop next week. Just because I said that, right? Raziel, hey everyone. Sunday shows are sweet. Sunday shows are tight. Matthew Perez, on a good note, resubbed on Twitch and rewatched Auxilium episode 25. You answered my Facebook question and did the B&J cleaning. B&J? BJ cleaning? What? That did it. Nice tips on the brushes again. Had some nasty buildup. Cool. Awesome. Oh yeah, right. Matthew Perez. It said right on the thing. Matthew Perez. I remember now reading the question. Yeah. I'll get there eventually. Don't worry. Nathaniel. Hi, Kris and fellow monkeys. Why, it's a Sunday stream again. Yeah, well, I mean, do not a lot of you guys follow me on Twitter? Because that's usually where I post, like, if there's not going to be a show and, what I'm doing and things like that. Sometimes random crap. Sometimes I just throw random quotes out there. Whatever. It's just random. But that's usually where I post, like, updates and messages. Secret messages. AJR, some nights went to the THOT house. I'm not sure which one, what that one is. And Herpatrax was created. Herpatrax. That sounds like some sort of new venereal type of medication to help you with your problems. Buy new Herpatrax. It'll clear you up in a couple days. I think I'm gonna try that new Herpatrax to get rid of my herpes. G squared. I think episode 257 Fermat Prime is much better. Fermat Prime is much better. That's almost clever in itself. But I was going to say, be more clever, but then that is actually kind of clever. But anyway. Frankie Lee Bailey, I do have some very limited dry brush attempts with the stylish purple on Mortarian Smoke. Gives a foggy tone over the verdigray tone that I have. I'll post pics on my Instagram shortly. Gray Storm? Like double R? Gray? When you have double R's, is it Gray Storm? Zandrate, I like the Sunday shows. Saturday is normally game day. And not 3D printing anything on Sundays right now. Are you 3D printing me something now? Are you 3D printing me something? Yes? No? Reziel, my friend said he's buying Apocalypse, so I'll probably get to try it. Cool. Smilo-maniac. Smilo-maniac? That's fun to say. Who wants new Eldar? If GW to believe, no one plays them. Kind of, right? But then why does GW make Eldar really annoying for a lot of people? Like, for Space Marines. Eldar just can beat the piss right out of Space Marines. I just read Bride Cheney's comment. Herpatrax, because you earned it. Yeah. Awesome. Chuck Langer. Love your channel, man. Thank you. Nathaniel, I don't have Twitter or Facebook or any other unsocial media accounts. Okay. Hey, man. Just do you. Well, I was just talking about, I don't know, Nathaniel, if you tuned in, but I was talking earlier that I'm probably going to do one of those cross social media type events, and I'm giving away, like, I'm just, here it is, and go, take it and go. Against start collecting box, either for Age of Sigmar or, what's that other game? Age of Sigmar and that other game that people play. What the hell is that game called? Warhammer 40,000. So either it's Warhammer 40,000 or Age of Sigmar. Start collecting. Gonna send away one of those boxes to a winner, and I'll probably draw the winner on episode 260. So in 3 more episodes. So 3 weeks, right? So, yeah. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? G Squared, what is this Twitter you speak of? It's just one of those things. One of those internet things. I don't know. I only joined it like a year or two ago, so. It's just getting the message out there, right? Eldar Lamborghini. Oh boy, new Eldar would make the happiest boy. Boy? A boy? Boy? Miriam Burr, my one day off this week just got better. A Sunday with the brush. Awesome. AJR, THOT, that hoe over there. Is that what it stands for? Zendrate, I could be convinced to 3D print you something. I can sneak in one before I have to keep making swords for Scary. Yeah, I seen that. I kind of figured that was you guys. I seen his post because I seen that. I saw that. I saw it. Reziel, I finally started on those Drukari you sent me. Wow. You're just getting started on those? Man, you're way behind your project. That's okay. I'm way behind on mine too. I've got Deepkin going on, and that's as far as I got was the skin. And apparently dog hair. And I still got like a bunch of Wraithguard I gotta finish assembling, because APOC, Wraithguard in Apocalypse, holy kermoles. A full 10 person, 10 being, 10 construct, 10 unit, and man, it's 6 wounds. Now, if you are not familiar with the Apocalypse rules, a unit of 5 Space Marines typically is 1 or 2 wounds. If it's like a 10-man thing, it's only got 2 wounds. A Leman Russ is only 2 wounds. Having 6 wounds in this Apocalypse game, and a bone singer. Now I didn't confirm this. Actually, I don't have my rule books here. But I'm pretty sure a bone singer can heal them, which is crazy, crazy, just crazy. So yeah, crazy. Vasil Mirchev, tomes for high elves and wood elves, please. Yeah, I don't like any of the old Warhammer 40,000 or Warhammer 40,000. Any of the old Warhammer Fantasy, any of those armies, and getting battle tomes for all that stuff. Yeah, I think I think the actual apocalypse will show up before that, because they're concentrating on Age of Sigmar, because all their effort in controlling their IP is in Age of Sigmar. Warhammer Fantasy died because of that, because so many third-party people can create and think and do where I think they see it as a loss of profit, and so they want to control their IP so that anybody who does infringe on it, they can take action, right? So I think that's why. And so high elves and wood elves, those are Tolkien type of things, and they don't control that IP. There might be elements within it, and that's you, and those elements that they have, that they made up, they control, then you'll see those in Age of Sigmar, but you're not going to see them return anytime. If you're holding your breath, stop. Take a breath, because yeah, it's not happening. I don't see it happening. King 555. There is not a lot of cards in the set to do 2 players. At Reziel from the Apox box, you have to have your own cards. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. You have to have your own deck. But, I mean, spending that extra little bit of money. I mean, okay, Kris being Kris, I bought the army cards, the Eldar. And that doesn't even have all the Eldari cards because there's Forge World units, and I want cards from my Forge World units. I just have to, my OCD, I have to have it. I have to. If I've done this one thing, and I can go to a battle and I can just have these cards instead of trying to thumb through a PDF, perfect. Much handier. Especially while you're learning. But I mean, it also helps because you can just, your opponent goes, oh, well, what does this unit do? And you go, here you go. And I go, oh, okay, thank you, you know? Instead of going, oh, let me scroll through the PDF. All right, so I'm going to use my farce here. And then I'm going to scroll 50 pages till I find the Wraith Guards. And then I'm going to scroll back up 50 pages till I find, Eldrad. And then back down to a Wraith Knight. You know what I mean? Like, holy cramolies, that's a pain in the bum. And it's no fun. Cards, there we go, ready to go, and they're nice size and they're easy to read. And I mean, I'm getting old, and I'm have to, like, you know, read my stuff like this. Like I'm pulling it up. I'm like, oh my god, you know, I can't see that. Actually, I don't have to do that. I just expand the screen and zoom in. And, yeah. But anyway, cards, nice. Oh, and then the other thing was, because Kris being Kris, and OCD, and I'm an idiot. Is I bought the Apocalypse dice. Yes. That 55 Canadian dollars box of dice, of D12s and D6s, with the fancy little explosion marks all over them. He bought them. This guy right here. What has 2 thumbs and is short $55? This guy right here. I bought him. I'm not ashamed to admit, I bought him. And I'd buy him again. I'm even considering buying another set. No, I'm just joking. I might, now that I actually said it out loud. No. Maybe. Holy cramoli. Reziel. I'll put up some pics of them on Discord. Awesome. Here's a name I have not read in a long old while. Haldane Urbanus. Hi, monkeys. Hi, Kris. Haldane Urbanus. Welcome. Welcome back. Nice of you to tune in. I just like that name. Haldane Urbanus. Urbanus? Urbanus? Is it Urbanus or Urbanus? I think we've had this conversation before. Vasil Merchev? Sigmar is love. Is love. Big happy Marine, or Sigmarines, whatever the hell they're called. Andy Clark, driving home to Arizona from California. What better way to pass the time than to listen to Monkey Master? To Monkey Master? Answer the question mark. Is that better? Do you want me to? Awesome. Well, thank you for tuning in, Andy. Xandrate, saw the Turbo Dork Metallic review. Looked good. Did you get any of the color shifts to review? I did, actually. Did I do a review? Because initially when Turbo Dork did their initial release, we did a promotional video for them. We've done a promotional video for them. Yes, I've done... Oh, yeah, I did a Age of Sigmarine, Stormcast Eternal. I used color shifts on that. And it's on the Mini Wargaming YouTube channel. It was free, but I think you're a Vault member anyway, right? Yeah, but yeah, I did do a video, and that was a while ago. Gosh, I almost want to say it was a year ago. No, it couldn't have been that long. Maybe, but either way, Xandre, yeah, I did do a demonstration with the color shifts, and it's on a Age of Sigmar model. Brian Cheney, I am primarily a Drukhari player, but I do think Craft Worlds needs some love in the form of new plastic Aspect Warrior kits, for sure. Definitely. A lot of those kits, like the Falcon Grav Tank, that is a, 25-year-old kit? No, that came in, I think, 94, 95? Do the math. You know what I mean? Like, that's an old kit. Same with the Viper. The Viper came out in 96, 97. It's an old kit. Yeah, they need more. Eldar has to be updated. In fact, let's hashtag it. Redo Eldar. Eldar needs some love. Some hot Eldar and Eldar love. Anyway. Haldane Urbanist would be nice. Still stuck on Finecast, and the last new models were in 6, if I recall. The Flyers and Illic. Yeah, that was 6, or that was the end of 6. Yeah, the Wraith Knight, the Flyers. What else? Oh, the support weapons, the Farseer and Jet Warlock. I'm finally glad that they finally did those in plastic, finally. Probably one of the more expensive units to field, dollar-wise, is a Warlock Conclave on jet bike. Because in Canadian, they are $45 a model, and I have 10. So you can guess how much I spent on a unit. But that unit is durable. Even in an APOC. It's actually a really good unit. It's actually pretty durable. It's only got 4 wounds, but it's pretty durable. So, yeah. Cock King. D12 are about $5 for a set of 12. Are you selling any? No? I already bought the D12s, so I've been telling me about cheaper options. It does me a zero good, and I'm not sure why people do that. Like, it's like, oh, I bought this brand new stereo for $1,500, and then somebody goes, yeah, that same stereo is like $1,100 over here. And it's like, well, okay, great, they already bought it. You know, are you just saying that just to make that person feel stupid? Is that why people do it? I'm not sure why people do that. Don't get me wrong, I've done it many times as well. I'm guilty of it as well. So I'm just saying, what is it in our brains that go, like, do we think we're being helpful when we say, oh yeah, you could have got that in here, you know? And then the person goes, oh well, frick, I just spent all my frickin' money on this, frickin', you know? So yeah, I'm not sure why people do that. Anyway, Hellday Nervous, thanks for the warm welcome. I keep missing the show. You keep missing the show? Huh? Catch a show. Stop missing. Twitchy Kranos, hey Kris. Hope everybody having a good Sunday. You too, Twitchy. Hopefully it's not too hot in Scotland for you. And if it is, well, too bad. Because we're dying here. It's hot here. Oof. It was I think damn near 40 here with the humidity. Frickin' hot. What am I? Let me click my thing here. Let me see what my temperature is outside. No, not that. Piss off. Okay, right now it's actually not too bad. It's sunny, with the chance of thunderstorms. No, that's not till. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm all messed up. Right now I'm showing 24. 24. So that's not bad. It's warm, but with the humidity, I wonder what the humidity. Oh, I'm not gonna go through that. I don't. This isn't the weather show. I should have like the weather just scrolling by. Everybody's like local weather. Everybody who tunes in, it's just in Australia it's this, and in Scotland it's this, and just have it just scrolling by. Everybody watching the weather scroll. Anyway, Hellday Winners got back into painting about 2 months ago after a 2-3 year hiatus. Really? Must have finally things calmed down for you. Is that it? You saw Epic Duck Mike's color shift video, but I'd love to see more examples from you. More examples equals more inspiration. More examples of the color shift, like using TurboDork's color shifts. Yeah. I mean, the only reason I don't is because, like, most of those were promotional videos for TurboDork. I don't get me wrong, I do enjoy TurboDork's products. I think they're a fantastic company, and the colors I really, really enjoy. And I like the fact that Greg, the owner of TurboDork, he's outside the box as far as creating a product for wargamers and painters and such that isn't readily available. He's creating these interesting colors, and you know what I mean? Like he's outside the box. And I like that. I like when people show some goddamn innovation and creation, and I like that, and I will always applaud it. John J, great show as always. Like taking the fam out to aquarium. Ta-ta for now, monkeys. Ta-ta. Matthew Perez, Nids need it just as bad too. Yeah. I mean, the Warriors are a little dated. The Hive Tyrant got updated like 10 years ago. I'm trying to think of like what's really old in the Tyranid line. I can't think of any. Almost everything in the Tyranid line is plastic, is it not? What's not plastic in the Tyranid line? Because I'm talking like Eldar really need it, because to collect a typical Eldar force, you can't do it in styrene plastic. It's in resin or pewter or what have you, or fine cast, which is resin. But yeah, so that's why Eldar really need the update. Is because the models are dated. They're really, really old sculpts, and like what are you gonna do, right? So that's why the Eldar need the love. But do Tyranids need that love just as bad? Like, is there a lot of fine cast in the army right now? Maybe a couple of the characters. Maybe. I don't know. Where am I? Aaron Siege, howdy, Kris, Kris, and fellow monkeys. Happy Sunday. What is everyone working on? More Relic Blade models for me. Yeah, I gotta go finish mine. I keep saying that, but I gotta get them done. Nathaniel, Kris, do you have any recommendations for transparent white ink and black ink? Transparent white ink. That's a tough one. For ink, I use Liquitex white ink. You can thin it down, but It's not gonna be transparent. I'm thinking like, what is transparent white? What? Well, I guess because I don't even know if there is a transparent white in the truest sense of the word. I've never looked for it. And transparent black. Well, transparent black would be like Citadel Contrast Black Templar, because it's a black, but it has transparency to it. Tamiya does a black that is a transparency. It's called a smoke. Minotaur has a black, but it's called oil, and it's the ghost tint oil. But I find that one has a bit of a really dark purplish value to it. I don't feel it's very black. It feels almost like a dark purple, you know? So, yeah. But yeah, a transparent white ink. I don't know if such a product exists. If anybody else out there knows of a transparent white ink. Because as far as like a transparency in white, the closest thing would be apothecary white from Contrast, but that's a really kind of a dark gray. But when you do slap it onto a model surface, it does go very white. But it's not a pure white. And I'm assuming you want a pure white. I'm just trying to think like a Tamiya lines or anything like that. But also, why would you want a transparent white? What are you looking to achieve with that particular color that may or may not exist? So yeah, let me know, Nathaniel. Haldane Urbanus, love the BFG models, especially the Eldar Corsairs. I wanted to paint loads of different schemes, so I went overboard. 8,000. 8,000 points. Jeez, yeah. Aaron Seach, you need a little animated weather monkey. Yeah, a little weather monkey. This little guy just dancing. You know. And he's got like rain clouds over him, and he like the lightning strikes him, and you know. If I was really good at, you know, creating animations and such, but yeah. Rezio, oh man, I gotta drink less. So hungover. I kind of feel you there. I was up late, and I was enjoying brandy yesterday. I haven't had any alcohol, believe it or not. I've talked about this a little bit. I haven't had any alcohol for quite a while. Every Thursday I have like a beer or two with my lunch, but otherwise, yeah, I haven't been consuming alcohol like in the last month, and I felt like having a drink, and so I had a drink. Anyway, Haldane Urbanus, LOL, barely warm. It's 31 degrees Celsius, 54% humidity right now, and that's significantly cooler than it has been in the last 3 weeks. Oof. Oof. Dr. V. Dr. V kicked $2 my way. Thank you, Dr. V. And then he super chats $5. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Dr. V. Dr. V. Dr. Vulcan? Is that it? Dr. Vulcan. Oh, yeah. It says right there, dummy. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Haldane Urbanus. Oh, he's talking to Aaron Siege. Never mind. Reziel. Lictors, Biovores, and Pyrovores. Those three are still fine cast? Okay. I thought they were plastic. I thought the Biovores were plastic. Does anybody use those? Maybe Lictors. Zendrate. Nids have Lictors, Pyrovores, and Biovores in fine cast, I think. Eldar is half the infantry selections. Yeah. Yeah. Over half, I would say. Just Guardians and Dire Avengers are plastic. Everything... Oh, and jet bikes. But those aren't troops. Yeah. That's it. What else is plastic in as far as a troop is concerned? Nothing. Phoenix Lord, they're all fine cast. Not Eldorado. Eldorad's plastic now. Avatar. Avatar's still fine cast. Yeah. A lot of it's still fine cast. Reziel, Necrons need love too. Do they? You need a little bit of love for your little robots? Nah, screw Necrons. They can. Yeah, I suppose Necrons need love too. What do they need it for though? Flayed ones? Does anybody use those? Brian Cheney. Most of the Tyranid line is plastic. Yeah, exceptions Bio and Pyrovores and maybe a few others. Yeah. Brian Cheney, way more fine cast than Eldar. Yes, definitely. And that's why I look forward to, you know, an update on Eldar. And you want to hear me squeal like a little girl? Not like a pig, like a little girl. I'll squeal like a little ee. And yeah, that's when the new Eldar are coming out. Underdog painting, great show. First time commenting. I just sit in the background most of the time. You like sitting, like to sit in the background. I like to watch. Sit in the corner, smoking a cigarette. I like to watch. George Hintz, Vallejo has a whitewash, but is it transparent? Not because a wash can be opaque, but is it transparent? Is anybody? If anybody knows, please let me, because I'm completely cold on this. I have no idea. It's not something that I've sought out. So, but again, I kind of like. Why do you need a transparent white? Yeah. Reziel. Some other NIDS kits are extremely old. All Gaunts, Genestealers, Carnifex, Trigon. Yeah, but they're still plastic. And the Genestealer kits got an update not too long ago. Well, it was a while ago now. The Carnifex has an old kit. Trigon, the Gaunts. Because I remember there was plastic Gaunts, and they were still like pewter gargoyles. And I remember there was that time when, you know, there was only pewter gargoyles. But now they're plastic. Pretty sure. And yeah. Yeah, it was around, what was that? It was like 6 years ago. They got a big update. And they had like the big tentacly monsters, the Exocrine or whatever. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, Haldane saying, weren't those kits refreshed around 05, 06, 07? Something like that, yeah. That's what I thought. Reziel, those kits were mostly just reboxes again and again. Sure, but they were already plastic. Because they made the conversion from pewter to plastic, like the gargoyles. They went from pewter to plastic. Eldar have not made that transition yet. Eldar are still, well, not pewter anymore. They went pewter to fine cast and have stayed fine cast. And I can't imagine GW is still producing fine cast. It seems like they're just kind of like constantly trying to phase it out. So I can't imagine why they want to keep. Maybe that's why they don't really change Eldar that much. Because the sales aren't as high for Eldar. But it doesn't seem like that, because I mean, like, it seems like there's tons of Eldar players. I don't know. It's an interesting question. I'm sure Games Workshop is working on new Eldar. When they get released, no idea. Nathaniel, to mix lighter and darker tones of inks or contrast paints while keeping the transparent properties of the paint. Regular whites or black increase the opacity, which I don't want in certain cases. Okay. You want lighter and darker tones of the contrast paints or inks. Okay. You're thinking like they're opaque colors. Stop that. Use them like how they're designed to be used. On top of white. White being your brightest point. If you don't want a lot of saturation of color, thin the color down. Make it more transparency. So, for example, contrast, you can use contrast medium, thin it way down. Go 3-1, 4-1, right? 1 being the contrast, 4 being the medium. Thin it down. Same with ink. With Liquitex ink, I use Liquitex Airbrush thinner, and it thins it just fine. You know, it actually adds a bit of thickness to it, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, yeah, you just thin the color down. White creates the tint And tinting is going upwards, adding white. Tinting, a lot of people, when they say adding tint, they're using it incorrectly. Tinting increases the white within a color. And if that's what you're looking for, to add white to a color to increase the tint, simply, on top of white, thin your color down so that it is barely visible. And then build to that color. Playing with the color on your palette will not show you the true value of what you're looking for. You're only going to be able to build that up on the surface. Does that make a bit of sense, Nathaniel? But yeah, you're thinking about using your transparent colors like you would opaque colors. And as I've mentioned many times before, when using the contrast paint system, your theory has to change to this cyan, magenta, yellow theory, which is like printers, okay? When we paint normally with regular opaque colors, we can use the traditional color wheel, which is yellow, blue, red, as the primary colors. That color theory works fine. But with transparencies, you have to adopt a different color theory. So, just remember that. Anyway, so hopefully, Nathaniel, that kind of helps. And yeah, as far as looking for a transparent white, again, if anybody knows, please post. You know what? Here, watch. I'm gonna do a quick Google search. Transparent white. Now I'm gonna say before I hit enter, I'm gonna speculate that it only exists as possibly an enamel paint or a lacquer based. And I spelt transparent wrong. I'm an idiot. So images for transparent white. It's Photoshop. No, I don't want Photoshop. Shopping. Let's go shopping. A bucket. No. I'm onto jars. What the frick? I don't care about jars. Paint, man, paint. Let's say paint. Oops, not paint. Paint. There we go. Paint. Okay. Interesting. Liquitex, in their basic acrylic line, they have a 4-ounce tube. It says it's a transparent mixing white. I don't think it's the transparency you're thinking of, though. Vallejo has a transparent set. Does it have a white? Well, George mentioned the Vallejo white, so maybe it is. I don't know. Vallejo also makes a transparent water texture. Why would that show up in my white? Oh, because transparent. Sorry, I'm reading some of these descriptions here of just these products, seeing if they're even close to what I want. Okay, no, I'm not really seeing an option there. So, yeah. I think your biggest thing is you're gonna have to adjust how you're using your colors. You're thinking of how you're using your colors. Zendrate can always tell the Canadians when they talk weather. Only place where the thermometer isn't enough to tell the temp. Had to make up a humidex and a wind chill. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, because the humidity is a bitch and the wind will blow your clothes right off. So, yeah. Raziel, Necrons still have a ton of fine cast. Only kits and, of course, Warriors are super old. Yeah, but they still have plastic kits, is my point. Their basic troop comes in a plastic form. Just Eldar Guardians are the only troop that come in plastic. Everything else, as far as making a decent kind of army, well, not to say decent, but making an army is a fine cast. You gotta buy fine cast. And it's pricey, and there's all sorts of issues, and a lot of work to clean fine cast. It's a lot more work. Dr. V, with the number of times Eldar have crushed my Necrons, I have a hard time feeling bad for Eldar Finecast issues. Right, gaming aside, Eldar need an update. Hellday Nervous. Remember metal fexes, great paperweights, or improved improvised projectiles. Yeah, metal carnifexes. Oh yeah, I used to have the metal old one eye. Yeah, for my Tyranids when I was collecting Tyranids. Yeah. Yeah, you kill somebody with that one. But there was something satisfying about holding it. This is a big wad of pewter. And it was a bitch to put together. Oh, just a complete pain in the rump. The rump, I tell you, the rump. Reziel, I do have a transition type metal hive tyrant that looks like the current plastic one. Cool. Vasil Murchev. What's with scale 75? Sounds like the start of a Seinfeld joke. What's the deal with scale 75? I can spray their golds and metallics just perfect, but when it comes to the other paints, they have the paint. Oh, wait. The other paints, they have. The paint barely hits the model. That matte finish is killing me. Yeah. The metallics go on great. Yeah, they go on with Airbrush. It might be a slightly different formulation with the metallics. Because, yeah, when I airbrush the metallics, I find I'm working a little closer in. And with the opaque colors, I'm a little further out. I often find myself thinning the Scale 75 opaque colors with a bit of airbrush thinner. I usually use, like, oftentimes I'll use just this MIG ammo acrylic thinner. It's nice and watery. It's really thin. And I use that to thin my Scale 75 colors down, my opaque colors. The metallics, I really don't find I have to thin them out. They flow really nice and easy. But the opaques, sometimes I find that I do. Especially the yellow. But the yellow is so strong. It's really good. But, yeah. But when you thin the color down, just come in a little closer. That's all. Just come in a little bit closer. You'll be fine. It'll be okay. Reziel, he's a nightmare to build and heavy as crap, but I love him. Love him. I just love him. Aaron Seach, maybe GW realized Eldar was a mistake. Impossible. Impossible. Because I don't think Jess Goodwin would let GW get rid of Eldar, because Jess Goodwin designed Eldar since Rogue Trader days, since their first inception, when they were producing them as a faction, and their aesthetic that he initially laid out for them has not changed in 30 years. So, you know. And I think that's all they got to do, is just take his original designs, put them on their little CAD machines, CAD them up, right? Make 3D models of everything. And then just, you know, make the molds. Get it done. Just get it done. Please, GW, if you're listening. My God. New Eldar, please. Please. Reziel, yeah, don't get me wrong. I'd really like an old army kits to get updates. Yeah. AJR, just remember, tint equals KKK. Easy to remember. What? Tint equals KKK. KKK? That's not good. Nathaniel, yeah, it actually does, thanks. Okay. G Squared, did someone mention Vallejo Pale Wash? Yeah, George over on Twitch, he had mentioned it as an option for a transparent white. But I had asked, is it a transparent white or is it just a wash? Because a wash can be opaque color or it can be transparency. It can be either or. Which is it, right? So I just wanted to clarify. George has yet to reply, so I don't know. I don't know if he's used it or if he's just throwing it out there. I don't know. Where am I? Ishyab011, hey Kris, and your old virtual pal Sammy. Able to catch us a little today, then more next Saturday, hopefully. Hope all is good, well, and great summer. Well, thank you, Sammy. P.S. Hope all the monkeys have an awesome summer 2019 too. 2019 too. Not two, but two. This apparently is 2. Chuck Langer. What PSI would I spray Vallejo surface primer at? Thanks. Would you spray primer at thanks? Is that the question? I'm just making a joke. Typically, whenever I'm using Vallejo surface primer, but I've recently stopped doing that. Well, not recently. It's been a while, actually. I made the switch to Stynylrez happily. Don't get me wrong. I love Vallejo surface primer. It works great. There is issues with black, I find. But the gray, awesome. The white, awesome. Can't ask for a better primer. But typically, whenever I'm spraying it, PSI, I'm usually at around 30. And I'm using a fairly broad needle. I'm using my Patriot 105, which is like a .05 or whatever heck neat size needle. Just, it's a pretty broad needle when talking airbrushes. And I'm usually spraying it around 10 to 12 inches away at about 30 psi. And I'm just constantly just moving the object and just, laying down my primer. Not heavily, of course, I switched to Stynylrez, and I've been very happy with my switch. Reason being, now the only thing that is a minor in the negative comment, but I mean it's barely a negative because I mean like their gray is the exact same Stynylrez. Their gray is the exact same shade of gray as GW plastic, so it's hard to tell when you've primed the model. You have to like look at the surface, like get the light to reflect off the surface so you can see if you've done it or not. But otherwise, the Stynylrez, the gloss black is awesome, and the white is great. Stynylrez, and the thing I like about Stynylrez primer is it dries quickly, or dry cure, whatever way you want to look at it, but it goes very quickly. And I find with the Vallejo, I have to wait a bit. And sometimes I can wait like 10, 15 minutes, and I can just barely touch the model, and it feels cool. And when something's damp, and it feels cool to the touch, that's how it still feels. So that tells me that it's still drying. Whereas with Stynylrez, 10 minutes, like even with the gloss black, and it still looks shiny, like wet, and I can touch it, and it's dry. And okay, it's ready to go, and I'm ready to go. And I like Stynylrez for that aspect, that it cures faster. So, yeah. But that's personal preference type of thing. Vallejo surface primers are good. I have issues with black. A lot of other people have made comments alleging that black has issues. But you try it for yourself. I mean, if you're using black and you find that you're having issues, then yeah, there's some issues with it. Anyway, Hell Day Nervousness. Those old metal models can be a pain but there is something immensely satisfying about them. Maybe it's just the extra work pinning them, gap filling, and sanding them smooth. Yeah. Sure. But sometimes I just want to get my little plastic men together so I can play with them. Reziel, Kris, how are you liking your Badger Extreme Patriot? I'm loving mine. You know what? I have yet to take mine out for a spin. I have not played with it yet. I've been doing other stuff. Anybody who's been watching on Discord, I posted a couple of things on my work in progress. What I'm currently working on. And, yeah. I've not used it. You know what? I should... It's still sitting in the little leather pouch that he sent with it. So yeah. Anyway, because I've been meaning to do kind of a side-by-side comparison of the two. Hell Day Nervous. Jess has a special and particular skill set. He will find you and draw a gorgeous new Eldar. George, the answer is yes and no. It depends on how heavy one puts on the wash. That doesn't help, George. The answer is yes and no. Well, either it's a transparency, like it's transparent, like you hold it up to the light and you can see through it like glass. It's transparent. Or it's not. It's translucent, where the light will pass through it, but you can't see through it. Or it's opaque, where light does not pass through it. Right? Those are the three states that the paints are often viewed in. It's one of those three. Not yes and no. That doesn't help. That doesn't help. It's going to trigger me. Ernie Jr. Ernie. Super chat. $5. Thank you, Ernie. Wow. Now that you have used contrast paints, will they become part of your normal process? If so, how will you use them? Excuse me. I have used them. Will they become part of my normal process? I can definitely see using them in a normal kind of paint job where I might use, say, shyish purple to achieve a particular effect. Yes, I can totally see that happening. What as far as like day-to-day type stuff, that's hard to say. That's hard to say. Well, okay. I'm currently working on a project because I'm normally not working on a whole lot of the same things, so I don't have a process for, like, say for Space Marines. I don't have a process down for Space Marines. Despite having painted a lot of Space Marines, I don't have a process down for a particular color scheme and a workflow to go through them all. Even with my Eldar, which is why most of my Eldar, not most, but a lot of my Eldar sit either base coated, unpainted, or whatever, because I'll do a base coat and then I end up going off on another project and then come back and maybe do some highlights, and then I go off and do another project, and then I come back, finish off a guy's face. You know what I mean? Like, I'm back and forth with all these different things I'm doing, and because I do this for a living, my free time, like I have this painting set up here at home, but I mean, some of you may notice, you can probably take a look at the thumbnail from last week. A lot of this stuff is probably sitting in the exact same spot it was in the last episode, and maybe even the episode before that. So you can see I don't do a lot of work at home, and I don't do a lot of painting in my off time, unless time permits. But again, because I'm doing this 9 to 5, I'm usually not inclined to do it in my off time. I want to go do other things. I've got so many other things on my mind right now that I just have to get off my chest, and yeah, I'm feeling that gnawing sensation to get my other projects done, and I'm talking like other, not even wargaming or miniature related or even YouTube related, just other stuff. I just got to get it done. So, yeah. Anyway. Where am I in these comments? So, thank you, Ernie, for the super chat. And hopefully that kind of answers your question. I know it's not terribly helpful as far as how I'm going to use them. They're transparency. And I'll use transparencies to achieve certain looks. So, for example, if I was starting off with dark colors and built up to bright, but I found that the color variance had changed and the tint was changed too much to a white, and I wanted to resaturate all that color, then I'd probably use the contrast to redo that. If that makes sense. That's most likely how I'll end up using contrast in a lot of instances, is to resaturate color. Most likely. Vasil Mirchev. There is no Steinorez here, but MiG one-shot primer. They say it is Steinorez rebranded, but I don't have one, so I cannot test. Interesting. I've not heard that one. But, yeah, MiG. MiG makes great products. I like MiG paint. I've used a lot of metallics. I've used a lot of the paints. I like them. Nothing wrong with them. Pretty much, everybody's pretty consistent amongst each other. I mean, you know, there's a few variants, but pretty much paint's just paint, man. Paint's just paint. J Plasma, hello all. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great day, Jay. Nathaniel, Google tells me Cretex has transparent white and black. I'm tempted to buy them for testing. They have great paints. The Cretex paints, are they water-based acrylics, or are they a alcohol-based, or are they a lacquer-based? I don't recall. So be careful of that. Be mindful. George, I like triggered you. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Grim over on Twitch. Haha. Reziel, the basic needle size are different, and I found the Extreme has a much greater potential for fine lines, but also not quite as much for large areas. So smooth, though. I like both Patriots a lot. Yeah, I mean, my Patriot 105 has worked great, and which is probably why I'm not in a mad rush to use my Extreme. I bought the Extreme because it was on sale. Why not, right? But yeah, I'm, you know, I'm gonna play with it. I will play with it. I will test it. Nathaniel is agreeing with Vasil. MiG one shot is pretty much the same as stun res. Okay, there we go. Nathaniel's confirming it. It's confirmed. It's confirmed, according to Nathaniel. Reziel, I need to pressure wash my house, clean up a bunch of branches. Stupid chores. The honeydew list. I know. I know all about the honeydew list. All right. I think we're all caught up with comments. And so let's do that thing we do. Let's do an email. If you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down, because here it comes. Let's go with our usual number one. Email time. It's email time. Sorry, send an email. Oh, that's my emails. Don't look at my emails. Oh, not that one. There we go. This one is from our good buddy. Why is it over there? Why does this move on me all the time? Somebody's moving with my browser, I think. That's what's going on. Anyway. This one is from our good buddy Zachary, a.k.a. Eldar Lamborghini. Email to Electric Boogaloo. Continuing process on my battlesuits for my Farsight Enclave. One battlesuit at a time. I've been developing my skill set for scratches and more realistic series of weathering on models. And it's been a blast. The picture with all three is the final product. Some minor changes were made between that photo and the others. CNC is always appreciated, as per usual. Cheers, Zach, a.k.a. Eldari Lamborghini. And so let's have a look at his, I guess this is the only good angle. Oh, thank you, honey. Yeah. Huh?
You're welcome here.
All right, honey, thank you. All right, boom. Anyway, so he's doing some weathering. I'm liking it. I like the graffiti on the wall. That's fun. I like the chipping. Now, I like on his on the little chest bit, the part that is kind of closest to his head. I really like the chipping going on there. You've got the darker color, and then you have a little bit of the lighter color appearing. It looks like it might be a metallic or something, or maybe just a light gray. And it's very convincing there. Whereas like on his side, which would be like kind of like the ribs kind of area, some of that feels a little heavy, and I don't know if it needs to be that heavy. Again, with weathering, a lot of times less is more. It also looks like there's like a gray pigment in there. Like, are you doing like concrete dust? Is that what that is? Is that what I'm looking at? Oh, that totally changed the look of that angle. Oh, okay. Must be the way the camera was. Okay, sorry. But very, very cool. I like the little bit of graffiti. That's fun. Oh, thank you, boo. Thank you. Was it still going? Can you re-click it and turn it on?
No.
Please?
No.
Thank you. Smarty pants. And so, yeah. On the feet, it looks really great. I don't know if you were going for a dusty look, like concrete and pulverized, concrete. But yeah, I like on the knee, it felt like it was a little bit much on the knee. See, like the weathering on Buddy on the far left, yeah, it looks like you got like dust, dirtiness on the toes there. These all look really great, don't get me wrong. The weathering on the Buddy on the left. Can we see the guy on the left? Okay. Can we zoom in? Can we zoom in? Nope. Nope. Oh wait, can I zoom in? Oh, I can. Woohoo! Yay! Yeah, see, so Buddy on the left here. Yeah, I really like his weathering. I like his scratch marks. It's heavy, but it's not that too much weathering. Like I like on his breastplate there, just on that corner, and it feels, you know what? Like what I like is that you have it kind of in the same direction. Like the other side, like on his, where our left side of what we're looking at, there's not a lot of weathering, but on the right side, closest to the camera, there's a lot of weathering, and so it's like something happened at one point where all this damage had occurred to his suit, and I like that. I like that asymmetric kind of idea that. You know, the weathering, and it's almost like is almost like you're telling a story, and that's kind of what you should be doing when creating weathering, is creating a story. Yeah, see on the knee joint on this guy, the weathering it kind of gets a little bit lost for me. I'm not suggesting you go back, but I think just be mindful in the future. See, on his collar and on his head, it all works. There's a lot. But it works on that very top breastplate of his breastplate. Looks really cool. The scratch marks, you've done them correctly, laying a darker color and a lighter color. This guy has got a lot of scratches, but not a lot of wear, which is kind of fun. You know, I mean, you know, again, it tells, you know, it's telling the story of these characters, right? See, I like this. See, I like this on this guy's head, right? You've done weathering kind of to one side and like nothing on the other. And I like that. Again, I kind of like that asymmetric kind of aesthetic. And I think that's really, really cool. So, thank you, Zach, for sending that in. Awesome work. Looking forward to seeing more. And hopefully you come for a visit and visit us at the bunker. And maybe we play a game. Maybe we play game. We play game. A Warhammer. We play game. We play game. You visit. We play game. We play game. Anything pressing in the comments? Nathaniel, Kris, Cretex is water-based. Okay, it is water-based. Okay, I've not used Cretex. I have Airbrush Red, and it mixes well with other brands in my storage. Cool. Excellent. All right. Vessel. Put a little icon duder. What's the icon duder? I don't know what that means. It's a little silhouette of dude. I don't know. Grim says cool stuff. So you got Grim's approval there, Zach. You got Grim's approval. Grim approves. We should make an icon for Grim approves. Should be a cookie with a star. Or a star cookie. That's a Grim icon. A star cookie. Or a cookie star. Cookie star? Is the cookie star the same as a star cookie? Are they the same? I don't know. Haldane Urbanist. Looks like a building fell on the Crisis suit and it's emerging from the ruins. Yeah, it's kind of like that, right? But again, I mean, like I really enjoy it. What Zach's doing there, and you know, he's telling a story with the pieces, right? And you know, I like that, and that's definitely something we should all strive to do, especially when doing character bits, because he's doing that battle group where it's like a bunch of characters with Farsight. You know, it's like his 7 or something like that. It's the 7 samurais, right? But they're all characters, and what a great way to make a unit like that. Then, you know, spend some time and create character for those pieces, and I think that's really awesome. And so I'm looking forward to more updates, Zach. Please, more. Next email is from our good buddy. Is it Anthony B? Anthony B? He didn't leave his handle. I know it's JM, but I want. Anyway, greetings, good sir. I hope this message finds you well. Included are some work in progress shots of my celestial vindicator Stormhost. Also, a pic of my daughter whilst she's hanging at her uncle's house, and my son whilst watching Way of the Brush. My dad to the Monkey Shrine. Shotgun beers and have a good day. So let's have a look at his Stormcast. Eternal. Ugh. I always hate when I mess these up. Ooh, look at that. Very nice. Nice and clean. Pretty straightforward. I don't know if it needed the purple hair, because it's a lot of color going on. Because you got the blue, the gold, the silver, the red, the bone. I think the hair could have been red or blue, or a variant of blue. But very, very cool. Oop. Didn't mean to do that. Had to do that. Yeah, nice and clean work. Shade wash. I've mentioned this previously. I would like to see you not rely on shade wash. I realize that if this is a gaming model and you got like 100 of these to do, then obviously, you know, keep going where you're going, right? But if the goal is on character on character pieces to, you know, expand upon your painting expertise and your skill set as a painter, I'd like to see you stop relying on shade wash to achieve the shadowy tones in those areas and start to use darker colors. Either start with a darker color or turn a darker color into a shade wash kind of thing, or even just glaze or blend, or, you know, what have you. Expand upon your repertoire of skills to achieve that similar kind of look. And yeah. Oh, look at this guy. Yeah, see, like, this guy looks really great. Not saying that this previous guy isn't great, but the purple, I don't know about the purple hair. And this guy here, even though you have the gold, the blue of the armor, the red on the back cloak, and then you got this magenta tone on the handles, which is kind of like purple, right? It's not bad here because it's smaller amounts, but it's also more, at least in this picture, it looks more magenta. It has more of a red value to it, which coincides with the red of the cloak. It's a little different than the cloak, which is, you know, what you want, but it's not the same, but it's closer to the red. And so it's kind of like you're working within the spectrum of red. And with the purple of the hair, if you really needed that hair to be purple, why not push it to more of the magenta side of purple? A little bit more red in it. You know, kind of like Screamer Pink kind of color if you're using GW colors. Where it's got it's a purpley color, but it's got a bit of red to it. And yeah, and stay within that realm. And that way, it doesn't feel like too many colors are at play on the surface. Just because it'll just, the model just kind of feel busy, a little too busy. Not busy in a good way. Because sometimes a good busy is good. I like it. Nice and clean. I actually like this model. It's a fun model. Ooh, look at this guy. Yeah, see, now here you did the same thing. You got the red on the cloak and on the tabard and everything, and then you did the hairs in red on his his helmet. And you know, and the model doesn't feel terribly busy, and you've got a few colors at play going on here. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you got the purplish on the cloak, but that's, the purplish is all right. Because again, it's shifting more towards the red side of things, right? It's a lot of pill bottles, dude. Oh, look at this. These are very nice. Not to say the previous examples weren't nice, but I like these. I like this. You got the similar kind of colored, three-colored kind of thing going on. You got the blue, the red, the bone, and the gold with the white. I like it. Again, you know, you got, like, you've used the shade wash to great effect. But as you progress as a painter, I'd like to see you use less of it. be more deliberate in your application. Ooh, look at that. That's a lot of McDonald's stickers. Well, very cool, very cute. I thought it was gonna be a shot of him in the shot watching, because you could have just told that little guy, "Hey, look cute," and take a picture of him, and it'd have worked. Where am I in these chats? I don't know. It's kind of like a conversation going on here. Oh, Eldar, thanks, monkeys. I'm still trying to figure out the use of these powders. It's a bit of a learning each time. Well, I don't know if I've shown doing like using the pigments to do like the concrete dust and stuff. I've done it for like tank tracks and like ends of cloth and stuff like that, but I don't know if I've done it like the concrete dust. I've done it plenty for dirt and rust and everything like that, but I don't know if I've done a lot for concrete dust. I want to say there is. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a video or two on using the pigments. If you type in weathering or pigments in Mini Wargaming's Vault, it should yield you some good results. I'm trying to think if there's any other people who've done videos on the subject. Austin might have a tutorial in there. I don't know if Janine has done any. I don't know if Janine's shown pigments on any of her videos. But anyway. Eldar, so if you want something covered in concrete dust, as I do, I need to think how the model would be covered in dust. Was there an explosion right next to them, or is the dust just flitting down? Gotcha. Again, yeah, you kind of get into the moment, right? And I mean, and it really, I think really what it is, it's the pose should tell you what happened, right? Because if the guy kind of looks like he's getting up, that seems like it was a blast, and he's covered, and then he's like, he's coming up from it, right? Whereas if he's like behind the wall, like the one guy, and it's impacting on, and it's like, you know, and the dust is kind of falling down, or just banging up against them, or, you know, yeah. I'll let you figure it out, man. What time we at here? Holy cramoly, we got 25 minutes left of the show. Only 25 minutes left. Only. So, just making sure I'm not missing anything here. More emails? Is that it for comments? Are we done talking? Are we done talking? We're not going to comment anymore? Is that what's going on here? I'm okay. I can just sit here for another few minutes. Or I could just end the show. Yeah, whatever. Just sit here. Just talk. No, let's do emails because I got all these emails to do, and so we are going to get through them all of them. Damn it. Let's do another email jingle. If you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down. But here it comes. Yeah, we'll go with this one. Email time. Email time. This one is from our good buddy Nick Dumont. Hello, Kris and monkeys. Got into Kill Team recently. Really enjoyed having less models I can do more work on. Looped or lopped? Lopped. Man, I can't read. Some limbs of the Hulk toy, so I had to commit to cyborg limbs. Started the leg. Like the start, we'll add more Orky Goobins later. Also, have been working on making Earthborn Dire Troll from leftover bits and a golem I had kicking around. The rest is some Kitabash orcs and a few Death Guard. No CNC, just look at them. Okay. Don't comment on them, just look at them and take it in and enjoy my brilliance. Okay, bad joke, had to do it. If I didn't want you to talk about them, I wouldn't not be sending in the pics. Have a good rest of the day, Nick. So, let's have a look. So Nick had a Hulk toy or figure, action figure, what have you. And he is going to make a war boss out of him. And so you can see here, he's already off to a really interesting start. This leg bit looks like it's from something? Sentinel? Killican? It looks like a dreadnought foot, obviously. So he's got the cyborg leg going on. So he's going cyborg. And some sort of orc on the ground. Oh no, this is a dire troll. That's right, he said he's making it out of bits. Wow. Interesting. I assume that you're just kind of rough putting them together and then you're going to glue the bits. I have no idea. For anybody who's not sure what the hell this is, he's using it for Privateer Press's hordes. Warm hordes. Oh, look at this paint job. Oh, I like the use of the little shoulder pads on the knees and toes. Like the weather, like the red. The gun is fun. What does that gun remind me of? Oh, it's gonna bug me. It kind of reminds me. Okay, the gun kind of reminds me. Do you remember Black Hole? Remember the Disney movie Black Hole? Remember the robots that were on the spaceship? They had like that double-sided gun. That's what that reminds me of. I can't remember what those robots were called, but robots. Whoa! This mech loves his teapot? He's got a big teapot on the end. That's hilarious. That's awesome. Yeah, this is really good. I like this. This is fun. And again, with orcs, you know, man, you can go anywhere with orcs. And it looks cool. You know? Like, look at this double length chainsword. Yeah, I'm on the right thing. Okay, good. I'm just making sure I had this all framed right. And Buddy's chain axe. It's a double chain axe. You know those guitars that are like double guitars? Yeah. He's got the Defiler head for his war mask. Is he Lord Humongous? Is that who he is? That's awesome. I love it. I like Buddy on the right. Not that Buddy on the left ain't cool, but because Buddy on the left looks like he's just gonna punch the crap out of you. But Buddy on the right, he looks like he's got some coin in his purse, and he can afford a fancy new glove to scratch his back with. He smokes cigars. He's got a cyborg leg. He's got a pirate hat, so you know he's got a few bucks in his pocket. The girls are all after him. The girls are after him. He's on a lot of watch lists. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Thank you, Nick. That's awesome. I as far as critiques, I got nothing. They look great. They're orcs. I mean, you know. I've talked about this many times. The thing I love about orcs is that you can paint them pretty quickly, and you know, be relatively new to the hobby, and you know, kind of just slap paint onto them, and they look really good. And you can paint them really expert, and really smooth blends and stuff like that, and they look really good. And conversions are the same thing. You can just kind of throw bits onto them, and it looks good, you know. Or you can expertly sculpt and shape, and you know, and this is perfect, and these things, and use that, you know what I mean? And it looks good. The orcs are one of those armies that they're very hobby friendly. Yeah, I guess that's the only way I can think of it. Orcs are very hobby friendly. For the new person, for the intermediate, for the advanced. Anybody can do orcs. Eldar, you kind of have to, you know what you're doing with paint. to get nice smooth finishes and stuff like that, just because of the aesthetic and the thinking behind them, right? Space Marines you can kind of do clean and dirty, and they look good. Eldar look kind of cool sometimes when they're done really well, dirty, but usually the clean aesthetic usually works for Eldar. But again, I mean, you know, you should really like orcs. I mean, you can throw in so much imagination, and really, I think that's the key. Is that orcs are so open like that you can just create whatever from them, and it all works, and it's all crazy, and it's ugly, but it's awesome at the same time, and you know what I mean? Like, it's so brutal, it's awesome, right? Whereas if I took an Eldar unit and just slapped a bunch of parts together and did it, it would look kind of odd. Like, you would go, oh, what is that? You know what I mean? We have that that bias for what we're expecting from, you know, these models, and you know, orcs. Our expectations are pretty low of what we're expecting, because we know the lore of them is that they just take, you know, slap armor on and rivets, and you know what I mean. And whereas Eldar, it's all song and dance, and things are grown, and you know what I mean. And so everything has this very smooth, controlled kind of aesthetic to it. Whereas orcs, it's all slap it all together, and you know what I mean. And that's orcs in a nutshell, right? So it's all kind of crazy, I realize, yes. Nathaniel, Hulk revamped. Hork. Hork? He's a hork? Hork? That's awful. I hurt my throat. Heldane Urbanus. LOL. Crackpot has a teapot. Love it. Reziel. That's why orcs are fun. And that's why orcs are fun. Yes. That's why orcs are fun. And up until recently, I applaud all the orc players who've been orc players for so many years and dedicated to orcs and just playing orcs all the time, even though they lose every game. And then once the new codex came out, they became top tier, and it's pretty hilarious. But that's great. That's great, because, you know, it's almost like a reward for the devotion for orkiness, for orc kind, you know. And it is a sort of same mentality that a lot of orc players, because everybody who plays orcs, they're all of a similar mindset. They're all kind of orky. And, you know, so, yeah. Rezio, I like a lot of Eldar, but not everything. Yeah. Haldane Inverness, he's on a lot of watch lists. Said to mean a positive quality. I'm dying. Well, I'm trying not to sound like a jerk here. I mean, you know. Zanos? Or is it Zalnos? Oh, I think it's a Zalnos. Oops. Zalnos. Hey y'all. Nathaniel, if you mean the humanoid robots in Black Hole, they had no name. They didn't have a name? I thought those robots had a name. But yeah, that's the robots I'm talking about. That gun, that double gun. It, you know, had... And I just like the sound of their guns. You know, I can't do it. Well, I can do it, but I'm not going to do it because I'll embarrass myself. Because I'm a big freaking nerd. But anyway. Yeah. Grim over on Twitch. Steve is a bit orky then, eh? At times, yeah. He can be very orc. Seriously? The Ken Jin over on Twitch got a Badger Patriot, or a Badger 105, Patriot 105 on the way. First time entering the airbrush scene. Advice, suggestions for using it at the desk area I normally do my painting in, or is this an outside thing? No. You can use it outside if you want, but inside is where you want to be using airbrush. Now, with your airbrush, there's two big things that you're gonna love. You're gonna love being able to do this indoors. Is priming and laying down base coats like a mofo. Okay, so priming. I highly recommend Stynylrez, which is Badger primer. Vallejo Surface Primer, both really good primers. I've recently switched to Stynylrez, but I've used Vallejo's for many years. Both are really great primers, but I've recently switched to Stynylrez. I've mainly switched to Stynylrez because of high gloss. Doing a lot of metallics. I've been on a metallic kick for the last couple years, and yeah. So, but those are the two big things that you're gonna get a lot like right away, and I think as you play with the airbrush and get used to it, and you know how it works, and you know everything like that. Priming and laying down base coats are great starting points. Yeah, and the only other thing, of course, this is the big one, this is the huge one, this is the most important rule about the airbrush, is take care of it. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Develop the good habit now of keeping it clean. When you're done a paint session, make sure you're flushing colors between colors properly, right? Making sure you flush properly. And then at the end of your paint session, and you're going to pack everything up, put it away, give it a good thorough cleaning. You don't have to, well, you can take it apart, but it's not necessary to take it apart. I'm just talking, just make sure you thoroughly flush the pot and everything. But yeah, take care of it. And it will take care of you. And of course, as you develop and get used to thinning your colors and controlling the PSI, as you develop through that, you'll find that you'll start to get into a little bit more nuanced type stuff, doing lines and controlled areas, masking off areas, and you know, stuff like that. But right from the start, just concentrate on laying down primer, laying down base coats, and cleaning the brush. Get into the habit now of cleaning the brush. Develop that habit now, because it will save you time and effort and money in the long run, and heartache. It'll save you heartache. So do it. So good job, Kinjin. The Kinjin. Zalnos. Yeah, second one. Zalnos. Yeah, Zalnos. Anyway. Enforcer 357 at Kris. So, I got a question. With how much I'm getting from my job this summer, I'm thinking of getting an airbrush. What do you think is a good starting one that's easy to maintain? Patriot 105. I think is an excellent starter brush. It's how I started really getting serious into airbrush. I've had hobby brushes before. I had like the Patriot, or not the Patriot, the Badger 350, which is like a brass, it's a brass nozzle. It's not even a needle. It's a brass nozzle, and it's, look at a Badger 350. That's what I used to use, and that was for priming and maybe base coating. That's how I did most of my Titan, my Phantom Titan. I did most of that, and I even created fade with that brush. But anyway, the Patriot 105, definitely. Compressor, Patriot 105, little small brush kit. Get yourself the lubricant. Badger sells the needle lubricant. Maybe possibly get yourself a quick release. Maybe possibly get yourself the high roller trigger. It's great with the Patriot 105. It makes it very handy. Trying to think what else. What else? Some essentials. All that will probably. I would be prepared to spend at least $200, but at least maybe $300 with other supplies and stuff like that to kind of get you started on the right foot. Yeah, but I would recommend the Patriot 105. That's the one I would recommend. I've used it. That's how I started really getting serious into airbrushing, and you take care of it. Like the Patriot 105 that I currently use and you see in videos, that's the first one I got. I've taken care of that brush, and it has worked for me for 6 years, 7 years, something like that I've been really, using the airbrush. So, you take care of it. Take care of you, man. Just gotta say. That's all I'm gonna say. Nathaniel, they were the former crew of the Palomino, and Kris captain transformed them into the mindless humanoid bots. The only artificial life forms were Vincent and Bob. Are you summarizing the movie for me? Is that what's going on here? I just told you about the movie. I saw the movie. I saw the movie when I was a kid. Nathaniel, Cygnus, not Palomino. Ebb and Flow, Kris, use them indoors, says the guy worried about being ratted out on his stream recently if he primed minis in his basement studio. Sheesh. Well, because I don't have the air set up in here, but I got a window like right there, right? And that's the thing on my list was an airbrush. Excuse me, an airbrush booth, because I have like all my computers and stuff in here, and I have used in the past. Use rattle cans in the house. So, just saying. You know. Rezio, I've actually been tempted to buy an Awada just to test it against my Badgers, but Badgers are really good. I don't think there's anything wrong with Awada. Steve and the boys use the Awada. Steve has a few Awada brushes. And he gets painting done, and he enjoys them. I don't hear him complaining. Well, I mean, other than when things are messed up, but I don't know if that's user error, if that's the brush. I think that's more user error than the brush. So I think the Awadas are fine, but I just use Badger, and so yeah. And I like Ken. Ken's a good dude. Ken's the owner. Terracotta 9. I have an Awada Neo. Granted, it is the low end of the line, and the tiny part of the nozzle that seats the needle broke. Have you had any parts break in your experience? No. Break? No. I bent the needle tip, but that was me. I mean, that's user error. It's not like I've had the chrome fall off. It's not like I've had parts snap. No. And I currently have 4 or 5 brushes. I've got 5. Right? Because I got one here. I got one of my Patriots here. I have 3 Patriot 105s. I have a Sotar. I have the Renegade Chrome. And I have the Extreme. Wait, how many brushes is that? Is that 6? I have 6 airbrushes? Wait. Hold on a minute here, people. 3 Patriots Extreme, Sotar, Renegade Chrome, Extreme. So yeah, that's how many airbrushes I have. But I have 2 Patriots in my office. I probably could bring my Sotar home, I guess, for a precision brush for home. I've recently been playing with my Sotar. Because I had gotten that one a while ago, and I really haven't played with it much. And so I just started getting into that one. And I haven't touched my Extreme yet, my Patriot Extreme. But yeah, I suppose I could bring my Sotar home for any of my precision work. Because I've always used my Renegade Chrome for precision. And that one I've used to do like lightning on a model. Works great. Works great. And the Sotar feels the same way so far. It feels about the same. And they're both pretty similar, really. I think they're both the same needle. So the only thing is though is the Renegade Chrome has these air brakes that kind of go over the needle, and I think they're more for protection, but they do affect the airflow because paint does gather on those little ends, whereas the Sotar is just a bare needle sticking out. There's no obstructions around it. Not even a nozzle cone around the nozzle. Because I know like the Awada has one of those cones coming around the needle like that. So, yeah. But anyway, I don't know what this is, but yeah. Enforcer, only 300? Wow, I thought it was going to be more. Well, you can spend more. You can spend like well over 500 on just the brush and the compressor. Right? I mean, depending on where you get your brush. If you order from Badger, then great. The compressor is going to be at least 200. If you're going to get a really good compressor, at least over 200. So, like I said, like you can spend 300, you can get a shitty compressor. or you can get a really good compressor. Because my first compressor was $30. My first compressor that I used for airbrushing was $30, but it had no storage tank on it. It was just the motor. And I found that when I was coming in close to stuff, because that motor was constantly running, I found that you could see the paint was coming out like, because the way the motor cycles, right? You could see the cycles. And so I found that, okay, well, I didn't like that because I was starting to try to get into more precise type of work, that I was like, okay, well now, okay, let me try this other compressor that has the storage tank on it, which gives me just a constant airflow. And the motor just kicks in to just top that tank off. And it gives you consistent pressure, right? So, yeah. Yeah, Razio, the Extreme has a more unprotected needle, even more than the Sotar. Crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine, though. I mean, as long as as long as you are careful and, like another one of those things that you should have is like a little handle to keep your brush. Badger makes... Is it Badger makes it? Or is it a Tamiya? I don't, one of them. It's a brush holder. It clamps onto your table, and it's just like it'll seat 2 brushes, and I have that by my paint station, and it works great. And I only ever have like 2 brushes on the go. I've never gotten into a workflow where I needed multiple brushes. Now that I have like multiple Patriots, I could get into a faster workflow if I had some sort of assembly line going on that I could, lay down one color and lay down the highlight and lay down this, and you know what I mean, and just had the brushes on hand to just constantly keep working through. If that's the kind of thing that turns you on, then go for it, right? But having one brush, you're fine. Patriot as a start is in my opinion, a good start. And I know you're in New York, Enforcer, but you shouldn't have any trouble finding a Badger there. Probably not even finding a Wada either, but it's whatever you want to go with. Whatever you want to go with. If you're a real American, you go with Badger, because you buy American. There, I threw it out there. Nathaniel, 2 airbrush blending. 2 airbrush blending. You could. You totally could. It sounds kind of ridiculous doing 2 airbrush blending, but if you load both cups with color and have retardant a bit in them. Now, Minotaur, when you buy their paint sets, they'll send you Minotaur's retardant for the paints, which helps when laying the colors down, because say for example you lay just a little bit heavy and you lay another color down a little bit heavy, and if they're retardant and you lay it down, and they'll make a nice smooth little blend. If you've ever used retardants when you're airbrushing, give it a try. It's a lot of fun. You'll find it yields different looks. It also gives you a little bit of time to even play with the color, especially if you've laid it down just a little bit heavy. It can be a bit of pain. You can get spider legging. You gotta be careful. You gotta be mindful of that stuff. But 2 airbrush blending. Mouth. I just read your comment there, G squared. Model. You lay one color down, you grab your other airbrush, and lay the other one down, and let them blend. But yeah, you totally could. It's totally a thing. I'm sure there's a lot of airbrush artists out there who have been doing that for years and said, yeah, I don't know about 2 airbrush blending, but it's just airbrush. Using 2 brushes at once. Eldari, cause like Kris said, you'll probably want one with a storage tank with a smooth and consistent stream. Yes, definitely. You won't probably notice it right away when you're priming and stuff, but it's when you start getting more developed into your airbrushing that you'll find that you'll want to get in close and get a little bit more careful and precise as to where you want to apply color. And yeah, that's when you're going to want that storage tank, when it's going to give you a consistent airflow rather than just and plus too, when you have the compressor that constantly runs, it's just constantly running, so it's going to heat up, get hot, and you'll burn yourself, set the place on fire, something like that, right? Whereas the one with the storage tank, and especially if you get one with a larger storage tank, like a 2-gallon, yeah, it doesn't run half as often. The one I have is got 2 motors and a big tank, and I find it works really great. And the motor barely runs, and as long as all your gaskets and everything like that are nice and tight and sealed, yeah, it doesn't kick in very often. In fact, the tank will keep pressure for a long time. I often forget to turn off my air. In fact, I'll bet you right now, I can bet you real dollars, my airbrush compressor right now is on in my office. It's not running, but the switch is on. I'll bet you. G squared, I want to see you with an airbrush in your mouth. Where's my airbrush? Oh. Let's grab my Patriot. So, see? The older ones, they come in this nice plastic kit, which is kind of nice. Oh, shit. Extra nozzle. It's always good to have extra nozzles, man. Just in case you muck one of them up. Hey, is that a quick release valve? Here it is! Son of a beehive! I've been looking everywhere for this. Oh, don't tell me I got another one right here, too. Damn it! Alright. Somebody remind me, I gotta bring this into my office on Monday. This. Because I took one off my other brush. Because I knew I had one. Anyway, yeah. Patriot 105. I like this brush. Keep this handy. Don't force it onto the cup. But when you're done your paint session, just put it back on there. Just protect your stuff, right? Keep this plastic cup, because this is super handy. I use this plastic cup, obviously to keep the dust out of the cup, right? Because my office was often dusty before the airbrush booth. But anyway, this is also super handy when you put the cup. Now, whenever I fill up paint, I never go to the top. As far as I ever go is that where it starts to curve. Right there. That's as far as I ever fill my cup. Because I have yet to find that I need that much paint in my brush. That's my workflow. I'm sure some of you guys out there are filling it all the way to the top kind of thing. But whenever I do that, and I'm kind of like between colors, or I'm between things, or I just need time, I keep my cup handy, cover I should say, and I put that on top, and then I set the brush aside, and then do what I have to do, and then come back, and then, and I leave that on there, so that air isn't constantly getting at the paint, because air drying out the paint becomes crusty, falls into the brush potentially, and then causes a clog, and then you got to spend the next 10 minutes clearing a clog, and it's annoying. So yeah, but airbrush in my mouth, like, there's your thumbnail right there. But yeah, so on this brush here, I've got a quick release valve. They sell these separately, so definitely want to get yourself one of these. Just to make it, because if you're going to get multiple brushes, having a quick release valve it makes it so much easier. Or a quick release. It's not a valve. This is not the valve part. This is, what is this? The male end. Anyway, I don't know. And then I got a high roller trigger. Because the other trigger, your finger sits like this as you're working. And if you're going through a lot of airbrushing, and you're doing a lot of painting, this, I don't know, for me, this kind of cramped up on me. Whereas like this, oh, that's so much more comfortable. Doing like that. It's like that, not so much. Cramp up. Especially when I'm holding it back and I'm forcing it and I'm applying pressure, right? Whereas like this, oh, all day long. Can't help but make that sound weird, right? Everybody's like, come on, Kris, quit being weird. Oh, man. Enforcer. So Kris would be the smart jobbiest. Keep yourself in an unventilated room and airbrush with no mask. Definitely. Yeah, if you want to increase your odds of lymphoma or anything like that, yeah, do that. Reziel, I started following some fine art airbrush artists on YouTube. One guy uses Badger and is really good, and his technique and has great technique. Yeah, I'll bet. Oh man, I mean, like, oftentimes I get the urge to use my airbrush and do like canvas and illustration type stuff, and then I get kind of frustrated because I want to just go grab my detail brush and just I can just do this by brush here. I can just do this, and whereas with the airbrush it's and then I gotta mask it off. You know what I mean? Whereas with a brush I can just and I can have it done like that. I can be like with a regular brush I can do a line on a canvas and be like that. Whereas with an airbrush, if I want it to be exact and neat and have a nice hard edge, I have to get a stencil to that shape or use a pre-made shape and then work my way around. It's all sorts of stuff, right? But that's the difference between me and a pro at illustration, right? So I'm sure there's illustrators out there who know all the tips and tricks for quickly hammering out, some forms. But it always seems like it's always about the first kit film. Masking. It's all about the masking. If you're going to get into airbrushing as like an art form to do actual art, it's all about the masking. And taking that extra hour or two to properly mask something. Definitely. Enforcer, I bet I feel like that, and Floaid are probably the most needed. Floaid, you definitely should have Floaid in your collection by now. Go buy Floaid right now. Go, hurry up. I'll wait. Holy crap, it's after 2. Let's hurry up and quit farting around here. G squared, Kris, I was thinking you hold one in your mouth like a pipe while using the other for the 2-brush blade. Oh, yeah, like the 2-brush. So you have one brush in your mouth while you're doing it, and then you switch. Yeah, okay. No, I'm not doing it now. I'll hurt my teeth. Come on, man. You're going to try and get me hurt. Or should I hold it like a pipe, like I'm... Wait, hold on. It's an airbrush pipe. It's... I just had an idea. What if we're using it like it's a crack pipe for our plastic crack? So, oh shit! It's my crack pipe. Oh man, I know that shows a lack of empathy for all the addicts out there, but hey, quit being an addict. Enforcer, yeah, Kris, all the pros have lymphoma. It's how you know you're there. Yeah. Nothing says being a professional like having terminal diseases. Oh, man. Yeah, I know, I'm going to hell. Don't worry. I'll keep your spot reserved. Let's do another email because I got one or two more left. So headphones, turn them up or down because here it comes. Yeah, let's blow off your eardrums with this one. Melting Faces. Email time. Email time. This one is by Moonglow. Recently joined us over on Discord. Hi, Kris. I'm Moon from the Moon. Getting weird now. I'm Moon from the Discord channel. As per Raziel suggestion, I emailed you to send you my Celeste for the show. Any kind of feedback would be great. I tried to make the model 1-to-1 with the image from the box of the kit. Still was made with contrast paints, and E-Seek is made the traditional way. Best Moonglow sent using Zoho Mail. What the hell is Zoho Mail? What's Zoho Mail? I don't know what that is. Moonglow. What's Zoho? And so here, I don't know which one's which, but they both look great. Can we zoom in? Oh, we can zoom in. Can we get detail? Oh, not quite. I'm going to say damn. This looks really good. You were following the box. You've got some really nice looking transitions going on here. I don't know which one's which. I'm gonna say the big guy is the first one. Is done with contrast. Is this a game? Do I gotta guess which one's which? Hold on, can I spot it? Let's see. If I could get just a little bit more detail. Yeah, I'm gonna say the little demon is done in the traditional sense, and the big guy is done with contrast. Now, I realize anybody who knows what the name of this model and knows it well knows what it was. That's what was going on there, but I don't know which one's which. So, yeah, really good, nice and clean. I love the highlighting on the cloth, the flesh. I love all the details. The subtle tones, the transitions on that, on the arches on the back thing that the little demon's standing on. I say excellent job. Yeah. I don't have anything really, like as far as. Because I mean, like you were going for the box art, and let me quickly look. Let me go to Games Workshop really fast here. Let me have a look at. Ooh, Games Workshop just shows right up for me. I'm here too much. I might be here too much. What is it? Heednet's a Slanesh, right? Heednites? Okay. So, your inspiration was the box art. Now here, I'm looking at the image from the site, and the purple feels very, very purple. The skin tones feel very subdued. The metals look really smooth. The gold feels pushes towards more of a silver. But as far as being your inspiration, I mean, yeah, you're pretty damn close, dude. The gold, like the gold on the weapon that he's holding, it looks pretty darn close. The knee pad, like if you were trying to imitate exactly what Games Workshop did, the knee pad needs to push a little bit more to the silver. And yeah, the purple of the flesh and the cloth feel very close, versus on the website, the purple of the flesh and the cloak do not feel that close. It feels a bit more ruddier, like red in the flesh, and it's a little stronger purple on the cloak or the cloth. It feels a bit like if you're using contrast, it feels a bit more like if you're using Vulpus pink and the other purple. What's the other purple? You know what I'm talking about here. The other purple. But anyway, and then it's Saish purple for the cloak and creating those highlights and stuff, or the shadows, I should say, not the highlights. This model too, if you were using the contrast system, you probably would have primed it with the gray sear, and then began laying all this purple and metals down. But really good job, dude. Really good job. I like it. Really awesome stuff. Nice and clean. It's really good, dude. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, one last email. Holy crap, it's almost 2:30 here. Jeez Louise. One last email. This one is from Nick Dumont. This is the Claw. The Claw. So, did a bit more work on the War Boss Hulk guy. So let's have a look at the War Boss Hulk guy. So we got a backpack going on. It's a V8 engine on his back. As well, I mean, if you got a cyborg parts, right? You need an engine running. Now, if you know about engines, typically, would his spine be where the crankshaft is? Would the crankshaft be in his spine? Is his spine a crankshaft? Whoa! Look at that claw. The claw. That's big and scary. I dig it. Yeah. Oh, look at the boot. You did the boot. Oh, you did the boot. Awesome. Really nice work on the boot. I like it.
I dig it. I dig it. That's very cool.
Yeah, I like the claw, and I'm looking forward to when you finish this guy. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. It's crazy. You're crazy. Grim over on Twitch. That's pretty orky. Really neat. Yeah, it is. That's orky as hell. That's the definition of orky. Where am I? I don't know. Hell Day Nerminus. Indeed, that orc is cranked. Nathaniel, the spine is the crankshaft. It is the crankshaft, right? Now, how does he fill up? You gotta stick unleaded up there. Just, oh, spine. That means that if the crankshaft was your spine, that means that it's constantly running. Do orcs sleep? Here's a lore question for everybody. Since we got time, we're done. We're all done emails, and I'm not reading any more emails. If anybody sends them right now, I'm not reading them for today. They'll get read next week. But do orcs sleep? In the lore, anybody? Does anybody know? Has anybody read that orcs slept? I don't mean get knocked out, but sleep. Man, I'm tired. I'm going to bed, and goes to sleep. Right? I'm talking that. Nick Dumont, just in time for Decla. Boot will be next, probably Big Steel Toe. Oh, really? Cool. You should do it like The Simpsons. Okay, this is a weak kick in the bum. If you get that reference. If you don't, then never mind. Eldar Lamborghini. The orcs would care about using unleaded, but they run that 97 octane. That 97 octane. They just use the good stuff. Oh, man. Oh. Okay, so we're all caught up on emails, right? We are all caught up on emails. Email. Yeah, we're all done. So little reminder. I'm gonna make a post about it in the coming days, maybe tomorrow. But I'm gonna do giveaway time. Kris is doing a giveaway. It's that time. So. Kris is doing a giveaway. What am I giving away? This is obviously yesterday before my haircut, which I should have realized. I might actually reshoot this photo because I don't know. I look kind of crazy here. I mean, crazier than normal, right? But anyway, I'm giving away a Start Collecting box. I'm giving one away, either for Age of Sigmar or your faction for Age of Sigmar or 40k. Either one, but I'm giving one away. And all I'm looking for is something. Social media. It's one of them social media things. I think what I'm going to do is it's probably going to be follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter kind of thing. Yeah. It's gonna be one of those kind of things. And so basically, I think what I'll do is by episode 260, I will do a draw live on the show to see who wins a Get Started box. Start collecting box. Get Started. I keep calling it Get Started, but start collecting. Start collecting. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. That's the plan. That's the plan, man. So yeah. Nathaniel, orcs sleep? Don't think so. No, I don't think so either. I don't know. But I mean, even plants sleep. So, or rest anyway. Do orcs rest? I don't know. Nick Dumont, it would depend on whether orcs believes they don't need sleep or not. True. Oh, that's right, right? Because orc belief is a big part of their reality, right? Like when they make a gun, they can believe it shoots crazy amounts of bullets and lasers or whatever, and they believe that, and it happens. It's how their helicopters work. It's how the stompas work. It's how everything of orkiness works. It's part psychological, psychic. I don't know. Rezio, I actually don't know that. The closest info I remember is when they're fighting a Nid swarm and the Nids were raiding the orcs at night. Were the orcs sleeping? Nathaniel, orcs are constantly wahing. Wahing? Sleep is overrated. Yeah, but you can't wah every day. It's like, that's kind of like corn and like blood for the blood god kind of thing. Like, how do you get anything done if you're constantly just shedding blood for the blood god? I mean, like, it's like, oh, wake up, oh, hit him, oh, he's dead, and then, oh, somebody else, blood, you know, you never get anything done. Like, what danger would you be? You wouldn't be any danger, right? And same with orcs. Orc can't just constantly be, you know, whoa, get up in the morning, whoa, having a coffee, whoa, you know, doesn't make any sense. It loses all meaning at that point. It's like when you say a word to yourself, repeat like the word dog. Repeat dog to yourself. Dog, dog, dog. Just seriously, I'm talking, like, do it right now. Repeat it about good 20, 30 times. All of a sudden the word, you listen to the word as you're saying it, and it begins to lose meaning. And you're like, what the frick is a dog? You know? And that's what would happen. If you were like, whoa, all the time, whoa, wouldn't mean anything. It would lose all meaning. Right? I mean, I am, like, or am I crazy? Or am I seeing things that aren't really there? That could be it as well. I might be going crazy. That could be it. There is a distinct possibility that I am losing my brains. My brains. My brains. Anyway. Rezio, orcs don't need no meaning. But they do need meaning, don't they? Because they have to believe in something. And to believe it is meaning. If there is no meaning, then they don't believe in anything, and nothing would happen. Right? Isn't that the way that goes? Nathaniel, I have a dog. Your point being? No, say the word dog. Were you not listening? Say the word dog. Dog. Say dog. 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 Say it 20 times in a row. Seriously. Say it to yourself 20 times. And the word dog loses all meaning. In your brain. You're like, what the hell's a dog? Anyway. Are some of you guys watching this with like subtitles on? Alrighty. Grim, I only know some authors have orcs passed out from drinking. Right. I'm not saying that they can't get knocked out, be passed out, get killed. But do they, after a hard day of wawing, apparently, do they lay down, put on a nightcap, pull some covers over them, take a nap, take a dirt nap, take a dirt nap, or go to sleep, right? Do they sleep? Do orcs sleep? That is the question. Rezia, you know they might need meaning, but they would never know that. That's not but that's not important for them to know. Doesn't matter if they know it or not. Okay, wait, what? Nick Dumont. Kamini uses slaves to do menial tasks. Orc would not even think to question not living to fight aside from weird boys who make the weapons with the grots. Well, the weird boys don't make the weapons. The mech boys make the weapons. Weird boys are just weird. They're like the psychic amplifier of the boys. Like the more the boys get fired up, the more psychic energy he picks up. And there used to be mad boys as well. Yeah. I'm not saying orc culture ain't complex. Apparently it's complex. But, yeah. Komini uses slaves to do menial tasks. And I'm not even sure where you're going with that point. What does that mean? Uses slaves to do menial tasks. Orcs wouldn't even think the question not living to fight. I don't even know what that means. What was the connection between the two? Nathaniel, other question. Do orcs eat or pee or have sex? Like recreationally? Sex, I meant. Not the peeing. Recreational peeing. Yeah, we're getting into a whole other ball of wax there. I don't know. These are some of these questions are best left unanswered. If you need help, call the A-Team. If you are looking for help with your color scheme, ask your questions live if you're attending live. And if you're attending after the fact and you're watching this after the fact, send your questions to Kris@miniwargaming.com. If you're sending pictures, send them as attachments in the email. Don't send them off as links to other sites because it gets annoying. And, of course, I'll be happy to read your question. I believe in no dumb questions, so feel free to ask whatever your question is. I realize that there's people who are brand new to this hobby and who are, more advanced and everything in between. And so I'm more than happy to help every single one of you with whatever question you might have about this hobby or anything else in general if it need be. But usually it's just painting related stuff, so feel free to keep it in that category. Also in the description below is a link to waveofthebrush.com. That is the central hub of all the silliness. It has links to all the social medias, the Discord. Discord's been fantastic. And of course, links for t-shirts. Want to help support the cause? Look like connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. And for everybody who has purchased themselves a shirt, send your picture of yourself in your shirt and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is on waveofthebrush.com. Way of the Brush also has links for Patreon support. Patreon support has been fantastic. Big thank you to all my patrons who currently support me. A lot of these things would not happen. Upgrades, contests, and maintenance, and things like that. Just, wouldn't be possible without their support. So a huge thank you. And if you're considering patron support, a huge thank you. And I only ever charge per episode of Wave of the Brush, which is only every Saturday, normally. So once a week. I think you kind of know what you're getting into. 4 weeks in a month, right? So whatever you're considering contributing, thank you. If you're not able to support monetarily, liking, commenting, subscribing, ringing the bell, following, all that other YouTube and Twitch stuff for sharing the videos. Sharing the videos is another big one. It helps support the channel as well. So a huge thank you to everybody who currently does that, and everybody else out there who thinks that, this might help somebody. I know a lot of people who are like, this guy, he might be a little crazy, but, he does answer my questions. And so, yeah. So, huge thank you to everybody. And, of course, another big thank you to Guy Muir Alfer, a.k.a. Carl, a.k.a. Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out if you love yourself some beer and Blood Bowl. Big thank you always to Carl for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingles that play before the email segments of the show. So, a huge thank you to Carl. We just love him. Again, love long time. Me love Carl long time. $5 too boku. Yeah, so I think that's the end of our usual spiel, right? Nathaniel, almost 12,000 subs. Oh, right, and that's I forgot, and well, it's not that I've forgotten. I've just been busy, and I kind of keep forgetting. Yeah, because when I hit the 10,000 mark, I didn't do a big thank you video for everybody, but just thanking everybody who subscribes to me on YouTube. Yeah, so I hit the 10,000 mark. I'm getting close to like 12,000, I think, or maybe I'm over. I don't know. I haven't checked actually. But yeah, big thank you to everybody who currently supports and subscribes, and yeah, thank you. But yeah, I gotta do a video because I gotta update my when you go to the YouTube channel and I have that little video saying, "Oh, hi, I'm Kris and I make videos." I gotta update that because I made that like 6 years ago, so I gotta update that thing. And of course, I think I'm going to make a video talking about the social media thing. And yeah. Craig Ibanez. What's that thing growing on top of your head? My hair? Why? What's wrong with my hair? Oh, it's because I shaved this stuff, and it just looks like I just kind of popped this on. But this is hair. This is my hair. It's all real. See? It's all there. Not going bald. Not yet, anyway. Not as far as I know. We Ojibways don't go bald, so it'd be kind of weird. I might be the first one. You never know. All right. Twitch Granos. See you guys later. Have a great week. Later. Rezio. Discord after party. I might jump on Discord. I do have a few things to take care of. And I might jump on. So, yeah. I think we're done, right? Craig. Haha. It looks good, bro. Just playing with you. Oh. It hurt my feelings. Feelings? What feelings? I don't have any feelings. All right, I'm getting the hell out of here. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you, and I will see you guys next week. Yeah. Next week? Yeah. Right? Next week? Most likely next week. Maybe. you're still here, I don't know why you're still here. Go. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Be one with your brush. That sounds ridiculous. I'm getting the hell out of here. I think we are jumping onto Discord, aren't we? Aren't we? We are. I think so. I think I'm gonna get ready. I think I might grab a glass of brandy, cigar. Enjoy this fine Sunday afternoon. Apparently it's getting quite nice out. Apparently there's not as much humidity. I'm not a huge fan of the humidity, as people know. And I'm going to enjoy the day. So, go paint something, do something, go hug a loved one, go write a book. I don't know, I got nothing else. I'm done trying to be motivational. Get the hell out of here, get off my lawn.